From the NZ Drummer Podcast and AndrewRooneyDrums.com, it's the Student's Guide to Drum Lessons. Here are your hosts, Chris Dawson and me, Andrew Rooney. Chris Dawson.
Yes, hey,
welcome back to the NZ Drummer Podcast. Change up on the format today. We're going to release a couple of mini-sodes about something that probably doesn't get talked about a heck of a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's teaching and some things for parents of students or students themselves to maybe be aware of.
Sure.
That I wish I was aware of.
There are so many of those things out there, you know, that you just, if I'd only known.
Exactly. And now, before we start dishing out loads of information and advice, it's probably really important to know who we're hearing from. So you've been on the podcast a couple of times.
I have.
But I don't think you've really laid out your background.
No.
How you started, why you started, who you learnt from, and then a little bit of maybe your resume playing behind the kit.
Sure, let's do it. All right, so for me, I wanted to start playing drums when I was 5 years old, but my parents couldn't afford a drum kit, so they bought me a pair of barter bullets, which was a bit of a trade-off. And then, I thought I was Spider-Man for a while, which was kind of handy. The barter bullets helped me climb walls somehow. And then when I was 10 years old, I got asked to join a local pipe band in Pukekohe.
And you'd already been playing a little bit at that point?
No, I hadn't been playing at all. So so it was nothing. It was from between 5 and 10, nothing. And then 10 years old, started doing pipe band drumming, went to the local RSA where the guy was teaching, and he unfortunately was more interested in drinking and socializing. So there was like these 3 10-year-old boys sitting in the corner of the RSA, sort of playing on pads, you know, but that lasted probably about 6 months. And then I stopped again. Then it wasn't until I had left school, didn't do music at school at all. It was until I was 17, left school, started working in a nursery, plant nursery. And a person said, "Hey, I've got this old drum kit that my son wants to get rid of. Do you know anyone who wants to pick up this drum kit?" And I said, "Yeah, totally." So it was $110. Yeah, started playing from there. Couldn't find a drum teacher until I found Rex McLeod. And so I had to travel from Pukekohe to Onehunga and started doing that like twice a week and just got really, really, really into it. And was getting lessons from him for some time. And he was just kept on saying to me, "You need to get into a band, But I was always very shy about it. You know, didn't want to get into a band and didn't think I was actually good enough. Really had a mindset of like thinking about, okay, if you're really good, then you have a really good drum kit, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those really unusual things. So I thought, well, my drum kit was cheap, so therefore I wasn't a very good drummer. And I wasn't worthy of getting a better drum kit until I got better and it's into a band and stuff like that. I had lessons from Rex for about 2 years.
It's a long time, eh?
It was, yeah. And I was really, really, really into it. I was just, like I said, 2 lessons a week. And I pretty much would always have everything done by the time I would see him for the next one, which is. Then I got some lessons off Frank, about 2 lessons, Frank Gibson Jr. And then after that, went to university and then got lessons off Ron as well. And that's pretty much.
So mainly
just 3 teachers.
4 teachers if you count the first pipe band drinking
I
guy.
Suppose, yeah. I can't even remember what his name was at all, you know, but
right.
Yeah. But pretty much, so all those times, I haven't really done any major gigs or anything like that, I don't think, but I've done a lot of covers gigs and original bands and stuff like that. Yeah, just been around, I guess.
Yeah. Great.
Well, how about you?
Well, thanks for asking.
Yes. Let's hear from Mr. Andrew Rooney about how it started for him.
I started drumming when I was about 16 or 17, which again, like you, is fairly late actually.
Seems really late, yeah, when you're thinking about like great drummers.
Yeah.
They start when they're 2 or 4.
Yeah, I guess, no rules and it doesn't matter, but it's quite surprising, I guess. I had the classic high school band. I'd say I definitely wasted a lot of years, sort of just aimlessly trying different things, just, swing and hope kind of approach, I guess. I definitely was that guy that was looking for shortcuts or the secret.
Yeah.
And I can certainly recognize that now and freely admit, was that guy. I'd quit for periods and then start again. Again, probably pretty normal. There was no goal.
Sure.
So no direction really after school. Get a job. And then I quit it at about 25 or 26 years of age and signed up for the Auckland Jazz course.
Yes.
Which was a big call, and people thought I was very silly doing that. I felt like I needed some help. What I was doing on my own was not happening, wasn't working. And of course, you hear those stories about how there's no work in drums or music, there's no money, there's no career in this. So it was all quite scary, and there's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of advice from people who probably shouldn't be giving you advice on this stuff, but unfortunately the way it is. Went through the uni course. I haven't actually worked a job doing anything other than drums since that time. Playing-wise, I normally do around about 100 gigs a year. So that could be theatre gigs, or if you want to put recording sessions in there, a lot of covers gigs, corporate events, weddings type stuff. And probably important to mention that there's no musical background in my family. So
it's the same with me, actually.
Yeah, a couple of similarities there, actually.
Yeah.
So, neither of my parents and none of my siblings took to music at all, other than just casually enjoying music.
That's right.
And then, I was up at Drum City and one of the resident tutors up at Drum City since 2012. I was doing that. Currently going it alone, teaching out of this building that we're
a lovely building
speaking out of in Kingsland. Yeah, I guess that's our cliff notes on our sort of coming up and how we found ourselves here.
At this precise time.
At this juncture. Never known what that word means.
Yeah.
If we leave this episode here, and if anyone did want to get in touch with you, Chris,
sure.
chris.jazzdrummer@gmail.com.
Yes, though it doesn't mean that I just play jazz.
All right.
Yeah.
You can play jazz-infused rock.
That's right.
Chris.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can find me at andrewrooneydrums.com or andrewrooneydrums@gmail.com. Next episode, we'll break down a little bit more in depth how we found lessons, getting lessons ourselves, and what we noticed and what we observed, and hopefully what we learnt and can use as teachers ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See you then.